I want to talk about how the gradient points in the direction of steepest ascent. So if you notice, what I have here is a series of vectors that are the gradient vector. It's k here. It's this vector k comma k plus j. I'll explain that in a second. So these are all the gradient vectors, and if you want to look at the compass direction of steepest ascent, then the compass direction would say, okay, if I'm like right here, I'm going to have to go northeast. And if you look at that, you'd have to go north, kind of like northeast probably. You'd have to go in this direction to go up, steepest ascent. All right, so how did I create these vectors? Well, what I did was I created a list here. C is this list, -7, -6, got 15 of these. And I went up here. Here's my paraboloid, my elliptic paraboloid. And then if you look right here, K is the point AC, f of AC. C is the y value of every point on this. If you look, let me move this, see how it's the y value is what's changing here. If I look, see, it's the y value that's changing. So I created this vector k comma k plus j. So let's see what k and j are. K is the point on the vector itself, and then j is the actual gradient itself. All right, and so what we see here is that series of vectors is on this curve-shaped figure. Why is that? Well, because if you look, as we move those, we are moving along the x direction. If we move along the x direction, A is the x value here. As we move in the x direction, then our gradient vectors move with it. So why is it a curve? Well, if you look at x equals c, the planes associated to that, if I extend that to 3D, then the planes will, let me make it so that we're in the front here. Here we go. Looks like it's at about 7. Yeah. So if you look at the planes of intersection, the intersection of the planes with the figure, it's going to be a parabola. All right, let me take that out for a second. So if you look at my previous video on how to create this gradient vector, you'll see how I made these. Essentially, it's a process whereby you pick a point and you add it to your gradient vector point. That, and then your vector is the point comma k plus that gradient vector point. Anyway, so you can do this with various figures. If I make this a minus, you'll see that we have a different situation here, and your vectors still point in the direction of steepest ascent. That.